What's up guys, it's Natural and welcome back to another Football Impact video. And in this weekend's headlines are Manchester United beat Chelsea in a big top 4 fight who will get second or third, fourth this season. Also Tottenham win, Liverpool win, Newcastle got a point, Bayern didn't win this weekend in the Bundesliga, Barcelona win 6-1, Suarez gets a hat-trick, and Neymar could miss the World Cup. So let's kick it off with the Premier League. And in the headline little segmented, Manchester United win 2-1 in a massive win, a massive game for Man United and a massive game for LUKAKU. I thought he was excellent. He put in a man-on-match performance. He scored a goal, made a goal. Lingard comes bench and made the two to get the winner. Yes, Chelsea scored from William. Hazard had an all-year off day, even though he's man marked from McTominay. And yeah, Mourinho gets one over Conte. Conte, he looks like they'll get top 4, don't do it in the Champions League, probably don't even win the FA Cup, pretty much they don't even do any, if they had to do all those things, he will probably still be out of a job. So, another good for Chelsea. Man United get one, Mourinho gets another sort of stab in Chelsea's heart, and another good win for Man United, and a massive one because they were disappointing in the Champions League against Sevilla. Liverpool win 4-1 in a groundhog day for West Ham because they got absolutely smashed. And Salah has now scored 31 goals this season in all competitions, which is now joined with Luis Suarez on he had his unbelievable season, which actually was PFA Player of the Year. So can Sadio Mane be PFA Player of the Year this year? Going to be really interesting because I think it's been him and Kevin De Bruyne who's been the best player in the Premier League. I'll probably go with De Bruyne because this football and he's just an unbelievable player. But Salah's definitely going to be up there. I think he's been the signing of the season, probably the signing of the decade really. Definitely was best signing for a long time. What a player he's been. West Ham need to get some points on the table or they're in a real relegation predicament. Tottenham, with their win against Crystal Palace, this game was absolutely terrible. It was one of the worst games I've seen this season. And yeah, Palace, without goal for Zaha, they don't score any goals. Tottenham, Harry Kane had chance upon chance upon chance in this game. But if you keep chipping away, you get the goal. He did that. He scored an absolutely bullet header. Yes, you could say Hennessy should do better. He should. For a goalkeeper of that stature, for a goalkeeper of his sort of stature, you could say he's a floppy goalkeeper. He should do better. And a good win for Tottenham to leapfrog Chelsea to 4th. And now we go to now we look at the bottom of the table where Newcastle and Bournemouth drew a 2-2 game, which is a really good game. Bournemouth conceded 2 sloppy goals. Begovic, don't know what he's doing because right Gale is a poacher. Does a back heel and pokes in the net. Then Newcastle United, who were outstanding in the game because Perez missed a sitter and Shelby missed a sitter, but conceded 2 sloppy goals because Jonjo Shelby doesn't do his defensive job, and he let Smith score an absolute belter goal, and also let Darren Gosling, yes, the ex-Newcastle man, score in pretty much with 2 or 3 minutes to go in the game. So that's 2 points dropped for Newcastle. They won that game. They actually would have gone above Bournemouth and could have easily went up to 10th this weekend. But I still think they have enough in reserve Newcastle. I think with the Sadio Mane in the team, I think he will score goals. I think Newcastle will stay up this season because the other 4 teams in the bottom of the table haven't won this weekend. And I just think they have enough Newcastle to stay up. Bournemouth at that point will keep them up for another season. Huddersfield put a forward into West Brom's season. They win 2-1 and they fully deserve to beat West Brom because West Brom right now are for me relegated. They have no chance of staying up, and I keep saying it, if you sack Tony Pulis, you have no chance of staying up. I also said if you're going to sack Tony Pulis, you should have done it at the end of last season. You were 10th. You beat Arsenal 3-1, I remember. You should have sacked them then, or you should have sacked them before the start of the season this season. But they didn't. They sacked him. There was no one wanted the job, so they give it to a guy who I don't think is good enough he's not a good manager anymore. Yes, he had one great season on Newcastle, and yes, he did. He got Crystal Palace to the cup final. But what's he done since? Nothing. He's been a failure at so many teams. He's also failed at West Brom. You could say, well, he's been given a transfer window. He's been given a transfer window. The only player he brought into the transfer window was Daniel Sturridge, who's also injured. So for me, West Brom would take a big look on themselves because for me, they're down. I don't see them staying up unless they win the next 7 games in a row in the next 10, which to put into perspective is a team fighting for the title form. They've only won 3 games all season. I don't see it. Big win for Huddersfield. They actually could stay up this season. Never thought I'd say that at the start of the season. And last game was Brighton win an absolute massive win and a big performance from Murray, who's been really scoring the goals this season. He scored 10 goals in the Premier League this season. Like, he scored two typical poacher goals really, but Knockert scored a really good goal, and also the signing from PSV scored 2. Swansea got a goal back, but Swansea for me defensively just weren't out really. They have one of those sort of off days like every team does. But then I think they're in the bottom 3, Swansea, because of goal difference, and they could come in the goal difference this season, so that's a big dent in their ambition to stay up. Good win for Brighton, which moved up to 11th or 12th in the league. What an amazing run. What would tell you, I think all 3 promoted clubs could stay up this season. When's the last time that happened? Put in the comments down below, because I really want to see when the last time that actually happened. So guys, let's look at the Premier League table with Manchester City not playing this weekend because they won in the the Carabao Cup, so congratulations to them. They still top on 72 points. It's Manchester United, their win looks like to hold second. Liverpool are third, then it's Tottenham, who jump above Chelsea. Then Chelsea moved on to 5th. Arsenal, who didn't play this weekend, are 6th. Then it's Burnley, Leicester, Everton and Watford with their big win. We have 10th, and bottom it's Bournemouth, Brighton, West Ham, Huddersfield, Newcastle, Southampton, Crystal Palace, Swansea, Stoke and West Brom. That is your Premier League table after 28 matches. 10 games to go. It really is squeaky bum. So guys, let's have a little peek of the Bundesliga this weekend. And in the Bundesliga we've seen 2 teams didn't really play for anything in Bayern and Hertha Berlin. Yes, we know Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga title. They only need 3 more wins and they are champions. Hertha are pretty much safe, so that game sort of didn't really have anything to it. Even though Bayern Munich got a big 5-0 win in the Champions League against Besiktas, and Lewandowski, who has been unbelievable for him this season, wasn't in this game. So an 0-0 draw was a fair result for both teams. But the big game in the Bundesliga was Schalke versus Leverkusen. 2 teams trying to fight for second this season, and Schalke put one over Leverkusen because Leverkusen were very poor in this game. Yes, Leverkusen had a man sent off, but Schalke were excellent, and I think Bergsteiner scored one of the goals of the season. Like, it was like a typical Paul Gascoigne goal, go boom, boom, boom. It was absolutely, it wasn't like a celebration like Paul Gascoigne, but it was a really good goal. And the second goal, which summed up Leverkusen defensively in the last couple of months, they really struggled there. But a good win for Schalke, which I think now puts them into 3rd position above Leverkusen. Cologne get a huge win against Leipzig, who were 1-0 in this game, will be kicking themselves because they were cruising at 1-0, and you think, okay, 2, 3s and 4s are coming. No, it's typical. I don't know what's going on with Leverkusen. I don't know what's going on with Leipzig this season. They win a game, they lose a game, they drew a game, win and lose. Like, they're such an inconsistent team this season. But Cologne stuck in, graft and drought that you have to do when you're fighting for relegation, which they are. That's a huge win for them. But then the problem with Cologne is you expect them to win this game, go in the next game, they lose the next game. It's so inconsistent this Bundesliga this year. Apart from the only team who's been consistent is Bayern Munich. So as a massive win for Cologne, they need to keep winning. With 10 to go, it is going to go into the last day of the season. Who will stay in the Bundesliga like it always does. Werder Bremen played Hamburg in another big game, and Hamburg will definitely go down this year. They have no fight, no desire, and for me, the team is on the verge of going to be in the Bundesliga 2nd division next year. Werder Bremen are on a bit of a run now. They put, I think, got a point last weekend. They got a win this weekend. That's 4 points. They now boost morale. And they get a bit of form going. They're only 4 points off being in the top half. So it's really tight down there. But a big win for Werder Bremen. Hamburg, the clock's ticking. And last game was Mainz and Wolfsburg. There's more in the Bundesliga. Every team's fighting in a relegation battle this weekend for teams. But an hour point for Wolfsburg. They're slowly but surely getting out of it, but again, because of what Cologne did this weekend at Werder Bremen, they're still in it. So, don't know about Wolfsburg. So question mark beside them. Mainz are still in the relegation playoff because they couldn't score the second goal. Let's look at the league table in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich are only now 3 wins away from lifting the title. They're 10 points ahead of Dortmund, who play tonight. Then it's Schalke moved up to 3rd, Frankfurt are 4th. Then it's Leverkusen are the top 4. Leipzig were I think 5th last weekend, or 6th. Gladbach, Hanover, Hoffenheim are really a bit of resurgence at the moment. Then it's Hanover, Augsburg, and at the bottom it's Hertha Stuttgart. With their win moved to 12th, and are definitely not far away from being safe. Freiburg, Werder Bremen, Wolfsburg, Mainz, Hamburg and Cologne. Hamburg and Cologne need a couple more wins in the last 10 matches. Hamburg, I think, are down and look like to be sent arrivederci to the Bundesliga. So guys, let's see what happened this weekend in La Liga. And in La Liga, Barcelona win 6-1 after their really good performance in the Champions League. Yes, Chelsea played really well as well, but they had a really good performance. I thought Iniesta just shows the guy is just the fucking GOAT of midfield players. The man is literally was excellent against Chelsea, and he was excellent. He didn't play this game, but the player I want to pick out was Coutinho and Dembele. Dembele had an excellent game. I thought he was excellent. His best performance I've seen on the Barcelona shirt. And Coutinho scored a typical Coutinho goal, which is absolutely pearlesque finish. And Suarez scored a hat-trick in this game, even though Granola were 1-0 up in this game. Imagine how they were 1-0 after 3 minutes. But Barcelona do Barcelona things and win 6-1. The title is going to be theirs this season. Can they win the Champions League this season? That's going to be really interesting. They're still unbeaten. Can they go a whole season unbeaten? A lot of question marks beside this Barcelona team, but everybody keeps saying this is not even a good Barcelona team. It's not. But this Barcelona team have a very underrated coach in Valverde. I like him as a coach. I thought he did an unbelievable job at Atletico Bilbao. He won them a trophy at Atletico Bilbao. He is doing unbelievable things, and I think he's one of the best managers in the world right now. I think he's up there with like Antonio Conte and maybe not Pep Guardiola, but definitely up there Jurgen Klopp. He's been excellent this season. He's got that Barcelona team defensively structured good, and I think they really are going to do well in the Champions League. And I also think maybe, just maybe, they could go a whole season unbeaten. Sevilla played Atletico Madrid in a cracking game, even though it was cracking in terms of players and defenders. Didn't know where they were. Atletico Madrid went 5-2, and let's just say Atletico Madrid were 5-0 up, even though the first goal was clearly what the fuck were you doing, letting Diego Costa in. The second goal, Griezmann scores an absolute beautiful goal on his right foot. And it's a typical Sevilla team. They've completely went backwards under Montella, who ruined AC Milan's defensive structure. He's now with the Sevilla and ruined their defensive structure. So I don't know what the hell Sevilla have done to their defence. I don't know what Montella does to ruin defenders. I don't get it. But they went, and then the third goal, fourth goal, and the fifth goal was just basic errors you see on a training pitch. It's absolutely pathetic defending from Sevilla. But then again, Sevilla scored 2 goals. Again, the game was over. Griezmann and Romero having passes the ball in time inside Sevilla's box, for God's sake, who would get the 6th goal. It was a really weird game. Sevilla, I think Madrid will have a massive win, and they're definitely, for me, I think we'll finish second this season. I don't think they'll win the league. I just think Barcelona's gap was a bit too big at 7 points. I think that's a big, even though they do play each other next week. That's going to be an interesting game, but I think that Madrid finished second this season above the Real Madrid of the Europa League. I think that's a very good season, even though Diego Simeone said this season has been absolutely awful. But big win for Atletico Madrid and Sevilla. Jesus Christ, you guys are shit. Real Madrid are look like to have a little bit of form now after winning 4-0 against Alves, and Alves were actually in really good form as well. You know, they've won the last couple of games. You expect this is going to be not an easy game for Real Madrid. Ronaldo made it look easy. He scored 2, and looks like he's back to his goals again. Maybe that win against PSG is definitely giving them some momentum. They also won their game in hand as well against Leganés, which was the team who knocked them out of the Copa del Rey. So they're starting to get a bit of momentum and a bit of form now. Real Madrid, they should finish third this season, and probably will finish third this season. Alves, I think, have enough points right now to stay in La Liga for another season. Valencia, who went 2-1 in a late goal to get them the 2-1 win, because they scored from Maria, whoever his name is. Then Sosa got a goal back, but then Maria scores a really nice header, and he gets the big winning goal. That's a massive win for Valencia, which keeps them 4th for now. But they've got Villarreal, who are nipping at the heels. So I don't think Sevilla. I think Sevilla are out of the top 4 race. I think it's between probably Valencia and Villarreal who will get that last Champions League spot. I think Valencia have got enough points and are actually playing. They're grinding results out, even though Villarreal's form has been iffy this season. But they sold Bakambu, which I still don't understand the way they sold the young African player. But definitely a big win for Valencia. And Celta Vigo and Elbar, 2 games pretty much not going to fight anything to say. 2 teams actually fighting for maybe that last spot for 7th. Going for Celta Vigo, Elbar. They've had a really good season, even though at the start of the season they were in the bottom 3. The fact they are even fighting for Europe is an achievement. Well done to them. So guys, look at the La Liga table. We're Barcelona top with 65 points. Then it's Atletico Madrid 58. Then Real Madrid. Then Valencia. Then there's a little bit gap back to Villarreal with Sevilla, Celta Vigo, Elbar, Granola and Getafe. At the bottom is Real Betis, Atletico Bilbao, Leganés, Real Sociedad, Espanyol, Alves, Levante. Las Palmas got a point this weekend, even though it's down the bottom 3. Deportivo La Coruña and Malaga. It's between Levante, Las Palmas, Deportivo. I think Malaga, don't see them staying up. And it's between those 3 teams who gets those 2 last relegation spots. So guys, let's just have a little see what happened this week in Serie A. And with Napoli not playing until tonight, Juventus had a chance to leapfrog them, but then the game was postponed due to snow against Atalanta. And yeah, let's just say it didn't really help the fans because they were just pissed off because their game was postponed, but it was postponed due to bad weather. So we look to see what happened other weeks this weekend, which was now we're going to look at what happened in the Champions League fight between Lazio, Inter and Roma. Lazio win 3-0 in a comfortable win. Savic scores 2, Immobile scores a penalty. He's now scored 32 goals in 32 games. He is right now on level, on fire from Harry Kane. Harry Kane scored 35 goals this season in all competitions. Immobile scored 32. Is Immobile the only player that can catch Harry Kane? Is he the Italian Harry Kane? What a season Immobile has had this year. He's been nothing short of sensational. And also Savic, I think, is one of the players of Serie A this season, no doubt about it. And definitely big clubs are looking out for those 2 players in the summer. So a good win for Lazio. Inter beat Benevento 2-0 in what was a weird game because Benevento should have had a penalty. But again, Benevento don't know how to defend from set pieces. 2 corners, 2 goals. It's basic defending. 2 defenders score the goals. I have no idea what they're doing, and this is the reason why. I keep saying, how the fuck did this team, how did Benevento get promoted to Serie A? Literally, every team in Serie B must be fucking shit as hell. Literally, like, come on. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. But anyway, Benevento are definitely down. No chance of them staying up for 10 games, or 10 or 11 games to go. Inter Milan need a caddy back in the team as soon as possible. Our top 4, our Champions League football is gone for them this season. Now we're on to Roma, who played AC Milan in a massive game as well, because AC Milan are in unbelievable form since Gattuso has been appointed, which is weird to say the least, because I thought it would go the other way around with Gattuso being appointed, but he's been excellent for them. The player that I want to give a mention is Cretano, the striker guy, the guy who plays up front for AC Milan, the youngster. He's been amazing since Gattuso's came in. I also think Charanoglu, Suso and also Kessie has been excellent as well. But he's been phenomenal. He scored in this game, and people are comparing him to Inzaghi. Yes, he is a lot like Inzaghi. I think maybe not in terms of lead-up play, but definitely in terms of he pretty much plays offside the whole game. But definitely he's got potential. But Roma were very poor in this game. They didn't play Dzeko, which I really don't understand. And Golan didn't have a great game. The youngster who's been unbelievable for the Turkish kid, who everybody thinks is a revelation. He had one of those games where he just was ineffective. It wasn't his fault. The whole Roma performance was terrible. But a massive win for AC Milan, who are now only 6 points behind Roma. And actually, to put in perspective, the fact that Inter are not playing well, Lazio have Juventus next week, and also Roma's form is iffy. If AC Milan pick up the points, they could easily be in our dark horses for Champions League this season. They've been an excellent run of form, but let's just say it's probably too much for them because they got the Europa League against Arsenal, which they will definitely win because Arsenal's form has been absolutely shit this season. But definitely AC Milan, maybe dark horses for your out bet for the Champions League this season. The outside bet. Roma, they get back to winning ways, or 4th becomes 6th this season. Also, 2 teams fighting for Europa spots is Sampdoria and Udinese. Sampdoria just did enough to win, even though they're 2-0 in this game, but Udinese got let go, which didn't really mean anything for them. But that's a good win for Sampdoria, which keeps them on the same number of points as AC Milan. And yet again, they're not far off the Europa League spots and Champions League spots either, so they're definitely getting a little bit of form going. So that's Udinese, they dropped to 11th. You can totally see maybe the squad is not as big when they sold some of the players they sold in the summer. So, but I still think they had a really good season, Udinese, for where they are as a team and squad. And the last game is a massive 6-pointer between Splat and Crotone, and Splat win 3-2, and to be perfectly honest, they fully deserve it, even though they were down to 10 men. There's been a lot of sending offs this weekend, but a massive win for them, who now closed the gap to Crotone, who got beat by Beneventuro last week, have now got beat by Splat. So to be perfectly honest, if they won those 2 games, they would have been safe. They would have been Splat and they would have been safe. Now, with Verona winning this weekend, they right now probably maybe the team that could go down. They've lost 2 games against relegation rivals, and right now they're looking themselves Crotone, or they're going down this season. Splat, massive win to give them any chance of staying up. So guys, let's look at the Serie A table where Napoli play tonight. Pretty much stay where they are. The top 2 stay there because Juventus game was postponed and Napoli playing tonight. Lazio are up to 3rd, Inter 4th, then it's Roma who are 5th. Sampdoria and AC Milan are now only 6 points behind the likes of the teams, and this is going to be a really interesting end for the Champions League place at the end of the season. Then a big bit of a gap back to Atalanta, Torino and Fiorentina. At the bottom, Udinese, Bologna, Genoa, who look like to be safe. After that, Chievo, Cagliari, Sassuolo, Crotone, Splat, Verona are all fighting for relegation as a really tight down there. What's 6 points cover those teams, and Beneventuro are definitely relegated. The gap is 11 points. No chance they're staying up this season. So guys, let's look at the last league, Ligue 1. And in Ligue 1, PSG played Marseille in a massive sort of Paris derby. I don't know what they call it. I forget what they call it. Don't diss me, PSG and Marseille fans. Don't disrespect me. Okay. Anyway, they went in a massive game. Mbappe scored a goal, and Neymar was off, injured, and he was crying his eyes out. It looked like a massive injury. People say it's a Christian kneeling injury, and if it's that injury, he's out of the season. He's out of the World Cup, which Brazil fans right now are going, no, we need him. He is the only saviour we've got to win the World Cup. Brazil fans are going mental right now, all around the world, because they want Neymar to be fit for the World Cup. They probably try and do some weird voodoo shit if they get the guy injured, but maybe it is, we don't know, but it looks like a big injury. I hope he doesn't miss the World Cup, because you want to see the best players hit the World Cup. But it doesn't look good for Neymar the rest of the season. But then again, you can say other players will step up. But Marseille were second best in this game. They weren't at it. Payet had an awful match. Thuram was probably the best player for Marseille, but again, he was isolated. He didn't get anything going. Again, Marseille probably, if they finish, I've said if Marseille get Champions League this season, I think they can tick off the blocks and move on to next season. But a big win for PSG to get some confidence going to the big game of their season against Real Madrid in the second leg next week. Massive game that is for them. Monaco have drawn 3-3 in a really entertaining game against Toulouse. Toulouse needed this point because everybody else was winning in the bottom half of the table. They needed something. They got a big point in this game. Monaco need to work on defensive structure, and yes, Monaco, for me, I still think they will finish second this season because Marseille's got tough games coming up, and Lyon single-handedly rubbish in the last month. And I still think they got enough in the hand, Monaco. I think their home form is going to get them second spot, and yeah, they should finish second, even though they threw away this win, the win against Toulouse. Moving on to Lyon, they drew 1-1 against Saint-Étienne, their arch rivals, and really good goal from Manuel Diaz. He scored an absolutely fantastic goal. But Debuchy, who the ex-Newcastle freaking Arsenal player, came up at the end. He's actually been scoring really goals for them in the last couple of games. He's been a really good signing for Saint-Étienne. That's a massive point for Saint-Étienne to get more confidence, and if they get a couple of wins, I think they're fine for our season. As for Lyon, it's 2 points dropped, just like Monaco. Again, and I don't think they will finish top 4. The reason why, how they're going to get Champions League football, if they have to win the fucking league, they have to win the Europa League if they have any chance of getting Champions League football this season, Lyon, because Marseille and Monaco, I just think they've got too much of a gap between them and Lyon. I don't see it, impossible. And last one is our men's against Nats. A massive win for our men's because they were in the bottom 3. This win takes them out the bottom 3, so big win for them. As for Nats, 5th, 6th, 7th is a respectable, good season. And I think Claudio Ranieri, for our first season in Ligue 1, he's done an absolutely remarkable job with that team. Well done to them so far. I think they finished 5th, 6th, 7th. I think that's a great season. Alright guys, look at the Ligue 1 table. We're in PSG, top of 71 points. Then a massive gap back to Monaco at 57. Then it's Marseille, who lost around 55. Then Lyon at a 5-point gap. Just think it's too big a gap for them to catch Marseille. Then Montpellier move up to 5th. And leapfrog now some goal difference. Then it's Rennes, Bordeaux, Nice, and ganged up. At the bottom is Dijon with their win. We're above Saint-Etienne stay where they are. Then it's Caen, Strasbourg, our men's, Toulouse, Alger in the bottom 3 now. Troyes are now there and there. Lille and Metz who got a point this weekend, but doesn't look good for them. Lille lost, Troyes lost, Alger I think got a point, and Toulouse got a good point. So really tight down there. There's 3 teams on 28 points. There only 1 point separate 4 teams. It's going down to the wire for the Ligue 1 relegation battle. So that's there, the Football Impact for this episode. You guys have an amazing day and enjoy your life. Please like, subscribe, and outro is out.